Yeah, Steve, I wanted to start with you. Can you just take me through the emotions of tonight?
Yeah, obviously it's been emotional, extremely emotional. I mean, I think credit to DC and everything they did for me. This is overwhelming. Did not expect anything like this, and so it gives me some good closure. Um, and I'll be having a hip replacement in the next 3 weeks, and so that's scary, but it's an exciting time for me to get my body right, be with my family, be able to live my life a little bit better, healthier, and so I just want to say thank you to Troy and everyone here because they made it so special. It's something that I really never thought would happen, and so I've just been extremely lucky to be part of DC for the last 11 years straight, and proud of it.
One of the things I noticed was during pregame, you really were going through all of the motions like you would for a full game. You know, you were sort of darting back and forth before kickoff, getting the legs loose. Can you just take me through kind of the decision to go about it in that way?
Yeah, it was funny. We were just talking about this because I wanted to go through everything that I would have done before a normal game, the way I start, the way I prepare, and put tape on all the same ways. I'm extremely superstitious when I played, very structured, and so having the start of the game, kind of being able to do a little bit of the warm up, enjoying that with them, and then enjoying the time with the fans because they're really the people who've made it special here, both obviously with me at RFK and then here at Audi.
And Troy, can you describe the decision making behind deciding to honor Steve in this way and your emotions during that opening tribute?
Yeah, I mean, this was a decision that was from the top down. So our ownership group, Steve Kaplan, Jason Levy, and especially Jason, and the relationship that he's had with Steve over the course of his time as an owner, and just what they developed is really, really special. And Ali Mackay, it was really headed up by those three guys. And then Sam Legg did a ton of work. Isaac Langley did a ton of work, and I was able to fill in with some different ideas as well. And I think everyone had a very good understanding that someone that does this much and has done this much for the club, we have to honor him in the right way. And what Steve just mentioned about just the physical toll that it's taken on him, that's what I saw early on in the season, and I think we were both really hopeful to make something more out of 2024 together. But then it came to a point where it's making sure that my job as a coach as well is to provide the right feedback and guidance to say, all right, let's look at this and speak honestly with one another, because he's the type of guy that he's not going to stop. He's not going to quit, because that's what his career's been. He's always given everything he has, even whenever he's in pain. And I think a lot has to be said for that in terms of just Steve's mentality, his character. And even though we didn't get to work a ton together, it really has been a special relationship.
Next we'll go to Jason Anderson. Just behind you.
Thanks. Steve, this question's for you. It seems like I've gathered that maybe you've had a few weeks to really process the whole thing. Where are you at with that? How are you feeling about the decision to, like you said, maybe prioritize your physical health, your ability to just be a dad now, and I guess come into the working world, and deal with all that?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of talks, and I addressed the team maybe a couple weeks ago, and that was extremely emotional for me, especially just being a teammate. I know what it's like and what all the guys go through, and I tried to pass on some of my knowledge to the younger guys, but that was extremely emotional, and we've had some amazing talks, and just Troy's been great kind of guiding me through this process, and it's been it's definitely a mental toll on it, and the whole situation kind of leading up to tonight has been amazing, but I was ready for tonight to happen, to kind of have that kind of closure and a send-off to where I feel good about everything I've done for the club, and just happy with my career, and to honor my family, my wife, and everything she's done for me, and my mom. I wouldn't be here without her, and all my family and friends. So tonight was really about them, and them enjoying the experience, and it's been overwhelming.
When you think over this last decade plus, Are there any moments that you're like really thinking about a lot more now that you've got the time to actually think about it, rather than being like, well, next week we have, a plane to catch Friday night to get to a game on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really set in on Tuesday when we announced it officially and got an outpouring, like overwhelming amount of responses and people reaching out to me. And, my wife and I sat down and kind of looked at some videos from the past. But I think the biggest thing that I'm going to miss is just the locker room. And I'm the type of guy that I loved practice. That was my favorite thing, preparation throughout the week to get better. And I'll miss that aspect of it, competing with the guys. Getting everyone better. I'm extremely competitive, and that was really what juiced me up each week. And so, that's the biggest thing I'll miss. But everyone's made this just amazing.
Last one for me, this staff role that the club has mentioned. I don't know if you've had much time to talk about it, or if you've maybe put in a request with Jason to see like what kind of role you're going to get here.
Yeah, no, everything's still up a little bit up in the air. But right now I'm just trying to focus on, like I said, my health, trying to take care of that, and then move forward eventually and kind of work through that and figure it out. But right now is prioritizing family and health, and then we'll kind of get kicking on that.
Next we'll go to Sarah.
It's for Steve. Steve, first of all, thank you for everything. It's been a real pleasure to cover you
Thanks.
and your career. You've had such an incredible career at DC United, in the league, and so much experience. Players look up to you so much. I'm curious, what advice would you have for young players coming up in this league?
Yeah, I think, and I've thought about this a lot because something I can pass on, and Troy kind of touched on it, and it was, I think, battling through things. I think there's going to be hardships and tough times with injuries, and giving it your all. And I tried to kind of say this to the group when I was announcing it, that I tried to leave it all in the field every game as if it's going to be your last. And like I mentioned before, I'm extremely competitive, so I wanted to play every game so that no one took my spot, and to make sure, I solidified my spot on the team. And so I think it's just battling through and giving it your all every day, because we're extremely fortunate to be in the position that we're in. And it goes by quicker than you think. I know it's extremely cliche, but it's flown by, and I've just been very fortunate to be in the position I'm in, and tried to take the as much be as great as I can every day.
And Steve, what would you say to the supporters who've been behind you? What message?
They've been amazing. Through the ups and downs, we've had some tough times, and they've come out every game, supported, been there in the rain, been there when maybe we get blown out, and they stick it through. And I've just been extremely grateful for their support. They welcomed me in. I was a California guy coming to the East Coast. This is now my home, and they've really been a big part of it.
Thank you, Steve. We can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you.
Next, sir, just want to pass it to Larry right here.
Steve, congrats on a great career. This one might be tough for you to answer, but after all this time that you played for DC United, even the times with the national team, is there a moment or a group of moments that you look back on and maybe is like your highest moment, or something that's always going to stick in the back of your mind?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this, and there's a couple moments. I think our 2014, my rookie year, our locker room is extremely, older veteran group, and I learned a lot from those guys. Davey Arnaud, Bobby Boswell, Chris Pontius, Sean Franklin, those types of guys that really took me under their wing and showed me how to be a professional in this league. And they were really on the forefront of making the league grow. And I'll be forever grateful for them for that. And then opening up Audi 2018 with Wayne was unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of emotions coming through, and I don't think there's one specific moment. I think I'll remember the wins, the locker room after the wins, and I'll take that with me.
And then what would you say, your expectations, for the squad just for the rest of the season? Obviously a Leagues Cup coming up, the league coming up, still a lot to play for.
Yeah, obviously huge 2 wins the last 2 games, and big momentum, big confidence boost going in the Leagues Cup. We got a couple new players to integrate them in, and really excited for where the team's heading. Everyone's in a really good space, taken well to, what we've tried to work on, and it's been a process this year, and guys are bought in, ready to go, and I think you've seen that. Even in the down times, we're in the games, we're fighting, and the confidence going into Leagues Cup, getting these guys integrated is going to be huge.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks.
Two more. We'll start with Jose, and then we'll do Mario's. Steve, first off, congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you.
You were battling injuries throughout the last year and a half. Coming into this season, what was the body feeling like? And was it the Toronto game, or was there something prior to that made you start feeling this season's going to come in the end a little earlier than expected?
Yeah, well, coming into the off season, I felt fit, felt good to go. I was eager to work with Troy, and this whole new staff coming in, so I wanted to make a good impression, and I was physically feeling good. Had a injury, or literally our first training session, and then I had to have knee surgery, and so had some complications with that, and I've had multiple knee surgeries on the same knee, and tried to come back, but in the end, I could play a game here and there, and couldn't put two trainings back to back together, and so the knee would swell, and I'd be in too much pain, and then there was an incident in Toronto, and it was just hard to kind of put stuff together in the end after that surgery, the preseason.
And lastly, leading up into the halftime ceremony, like you were trying to make sure you had your family together, really tight knit. How important was it to share this moment, not just with your teammates, but have your mother here, have your children here? They never left your side the entire time as you walked up.
Yeah.
So how important was it to share this moment with them?
It's the most important. I'm a family man first and foremost. That's the most important thing to me is being a good father and husband and son, and this is to celebrate them. They've been with me on the ride. Obviously, the kids knew, and my wife only here, and my mom, single mother with me and my sister, and she's done an unbelievable job raising us, and I don't know how she did it, and I wouldn't be here without her. And to honor them tonight was really special and important for me to get the recognition that they deserve, because they've been just as important as anyone.
Thanks for your honesty.
We're going to cut it short just so Celtics manager Brendan Rodgers can go. But thank you guys.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.